A huge online tournament happened for the first week of the VGC MB format, and a lot of players expected maybe Staraptor would make an appearance in the top cut, but a lot of them were actually outplaced by the other Mega Evolution bird type, which is going to be the Mega Pidgeot. Is Mega Pidgeot better than Mega Staraptor? That is what we're here to find out in today's video. This is my recreation of a team that was able to go 9-3 and almost top cuts the Smogon VGC Major, which was one of the first big online tournaments of the VGC MB format. We're going to be trying out Mega Pidgeot and seeing how well it can perform on this sand team, but let's break down this recreation. So you might ask yourselves, why Mega Pidgeot? This thing is pretty frail, it doesn't have the best stats in the world. Why use it? Well, the idea of Mega Pidgeot does have access to really strong flying coverage. With Hurricane, which isn't the most accurate flying type move, it's very powerful, has a chance for confusion, and Pidgeot has inaccurate attacks, but it will always hit them thanks to no guard. On the downside, you will always be affected by opponents' attacks because they can never miss you as the downside. However, be able to hit your attacks, you're in a good shape if you get the KOs. So that's one benefit of Pidgeot. The other benefit of Pidgeot, which is actually pretty nice and probably a bit underrated, is compared to Staraptor, where you do lose your normal typing when you do Mega Evolve, Pidgeot actually keeps the normal typing, which can be really relevant against endgame Basculegion, because that means it doesn't have the ability to go for a Last Respect lock in if they're a Choice Scar variant. So that can be pretty impactful in a lot of cases. So Pidgeot keeping that normal type can be really good against those really strong ghost type moves that you commonly see in the format, especially with like stuff like Golden Go and Annihilate that is just picked up recently. So that is one really big benefit of Pidgeot. It's able to do a ton of damage with the Hurricane and the Heat Wave combination, and the Tailwind support is just pretty nice at being able to dish out a lot of damage. The ability, its abilities aren't that great. You either have one that just ignores defense drops, or you have one that ignores accuracy. And since we already have the ability with the no guard to always hit your moves when you Mega Evolve, you might as well just go with Big Pecs and avoid any of the defense drops that could just happen randomly from some moves like Liquidation, for example. EV spread wise, pretty simple on this recreation, just max speed and max special attack. Just allows Pidgeot to be able to do as much damage as possible while being able to outspeed stuff for the fast Tailwind as well as the fast damage output. So next Pokemon we have is going to be the Mega Tyranitar, and yes, we are running dual Mega on this team, but dual Mega usually with Tyranitar makes a lot of sense because Tyranitar's item choices aren't exactly super strong in this format. Chople Berry is one you could probably consider, but the thing is, in order to live close combat from Sneasler, you need a lot of investment, like near max HP and defense to survive the close combat, so not generally worth it because you want to have some speed because it is a Tailwind team. So this Tyranitar originally was Jolly on the original team. I am more a fan of Jolly Tyranitar when it comes to Dragon Dance, but I think without Dragon Dance, if you're going to Mega Evolve the Tyranitar, it's going to suffer a little bit. So we are going to be adjusting it to have a good amount of bulk as well as some solid attack investment with the Animate Nature. You still have a lot of speed to outspeed stuff under Tailwind, especially in the regular form. You're able to outspeed Scarf Basculegion, as well as like a point above that. You have a good amount of attack investment as well with Animate Nature to give a stat point, and just good bulk to be able to switch into stuff like the Heat Waves pretty consistently, the Burned Garchomp Earthquakes, the Charizard Y attacks. I think that having a good amount of bulk on T-Tar, especially since you don't Mega Evolve too much on this team, I think can be pretty nice. So we are going to have some bulk on the T-Tar to just be able to take general attacks, and the speed is still pretty solid even with Mega T-Tar, because even if we don't have Tailwind, it will be able to outspeed a good amount of Pokemon in the format, like the Venusaurs, the Archaudons that often run a bit more speed than the regular Tyranitar, this much investment. So that's kind of the idea here. Coverage-wise, pretty standard Rock Slide knockoff, low kick protect. You have low kick for the King Gambits as well as opposing Tyranitar. Knockoff, good dark coverage. Rock Slide, of course, for those fire types and the same type attack bonus. And of course, the Sandstream giving the Sand special defense boost to Tyranitar, as well as helping out in the Weather War. So next Pokemon we have is going to be the Focus Sash Sand Rush Excadrill, and Sand has really fallen off since the beginning of the Champions meta, but Excadrill still does some pretty strong damage because it has a lot of ways to hit common Pokemon super effectively. Think of Incineroar, Sneasler, King Gambit, the fairies like the Whimsicott, the Sylveon, the Eternal Floette, and then of course you have Rock Slide to be able to hit the Charizard Y, which is pretty important. So it has a lot of strong coverage. It's just always had that little bit of awkward speed tier where it needs the Sand Rush to be able to outspeed Pokemon. And of course there are, like, again, a lot of common Pokemon that do threaten Excadrill. However, if you position Excadrill well, it can do a ton of damage, especially Sand Rush doubling that speed on Excadrill makes it a fast contender. The Adamant to boost up its damage output, and again, all the coverage that it really needs to do is sweep. It can pair really well with the Pidgeot because Earthquake plus Hurricane is really hard to be able to switch into, and again, being able to threaten those fairies is really nice on this team. So next Pokemon we have is going to be the Choice Scarf Serena with the Queenly Majesty ability that is able to help out the team by preventing any priority moves from affecting your side of the field, which is pretty nice when you have Prankster Mons, you have Aqua Jet from Basket Legion, Sucker Punch from the King Gambits, Fake Outs from Incineroar, and more. So having that Queenly Majesty to be able to block priority for the Sash Excadrill as well as the Golden Go can be very beneficial and allow you to sweep under the sand or the Tailwind without having to waste turns by protecting. So this Serena is just able to be pretty fast with that Choice Scarf, outspeed any of the base 130s with that Choice Scarf. Think of stuff like Mega Gengar and more, and just be able to threaten a lot of damage with its powerful attacks, like the Power Up, really strong Grass type move, Triple Axle that's able to threaten the Garchomp, which is a big plus on this team, U-turn to be able to pivot around, and then gonna be running the low kick here for the coverage on just being able to hit threaten, for instance, King Gambit as well as like Tyrannotars, which are probably the main Pokemon that you want to hit without having to worry about high jump kick accuracy, which can be nice. So next Pokemon on this team is going to be the Leftovers Golden Go, and the Golden Go is a pretty strong Pokemon, especially into the format where a bunch of the fairy setups like the Eternal Flow of Balance teams are running around. Just being able to threaten those fairies with the steel moves is pretty nice. So having that ability to just dodge the Fake Out because you do have the Ghost typing, good as Ghost is a fantastic ability. The Ghost coverage is really nice to be able to hit Basket Legion and more, can be pretty solid. I did change the Golden Go a little bit because originally it was a timid nature, and timid Golden Go can outspeed stuff like Basket Legion, some opposing Golden Goes, but I don't think you really need that on that team. I think being able to outspeed maybe the Adamant ones is just generally good enough. So I decided, because if you're running Leftovers, I feel like you're probably just going to have some bulk on the Golden Go and have a good amount of HP investment, and this is the maximum recovery you can get with Leftovers on Golden Go. I think enough speed to be able to outspeed the Basket Legions that are added, because Jolly Basket Legion is a little bit more rare, and then still having a decent amount of special attack. It's not the most amount of investment you can have, but still going to actually be able to hit pretty hard. I felt like was pretty ideal here for this Golden Go set, especially since you're not running Intimidate. Maybe having just a bit of just general HP will allow Golden Go to be able to survive attacks like the Sucker Punch from non-Black Glasses King Gambit, which can be pretty nice without sacrificing so much initial attack damage output. Simple, just make it rain, nasty plots, Shadow Ball, protect. Standard gold, as it's able to threaten a good amount of damage with that make it rain spread steel type move. The Shadow Ball is pretty solid just to be able to hit stuff like Basket Legion and more. And of course, nasty plot to make up for the make it rain special attack drop, but also just power up the Golden Ghost attacks in general. We'll see how it goes, because the original team did have Timid. I think having a bit of bulk on the Golden Go can be pretty nice here. We'll see how it goes. Then final mon on this team is going to be the Sitrus Berry Rotom Wash, and I also changed this team because it was originally a Timid Rotom Wash, and I think Timid can be cool for the fast Willow Burn, but I think there's a point where maybe Timid is a bit too much, because like sure, maybe you outspeed like Adamant Excadrills outside of Sand. Maybe you outspeed some Garchomps that are running a lot of speed, but most Garchomps are running Jolly, so you can outspeed again Basket Legion that are Jolly, but otherwise there aren't too many physical attackers I feel like that are in that range that maybe it's like a bit better to have a bit of bulk just in general, because I think investing too much into speed when it's not really needed when you have speed control with Tailwind is not necessary. So we're going to be trying out Bold for this recreation. With the EV spread, that is able to still be able to take a lot of attacks with the bold nature, because you want to be able to take physical attacks from like Basket Legion and Garchomp that you want to be able to pivot into with this Rotom Wash, which I think is important, but still outspeed the Adamant Basket Legions. And the reason we're going with one extra stat point above what's needed to outspeed the Adamant Basket Legions, because we don't want Golden Go and Rotom Wash's speed tie, so we want a bit of consistency. We are going to have the Rotom be 1 point faster than the Golden Go, because it can matter for like, okay, maybe you can Hydro Pump, take a knockout on a fire type, and then to make it rain could be single target damage instead, which I think can be pretty nice. You could also go the other way where Gold maybe outspeeds, like, so you can go for like a KO and a Sinistra with a +2 Shadow Ball, and then you could burn the ally as well. I think both make a lot of sense here, but for this recreation, I am going with the Rotom that is going to be 1 point faster, and we'll see how it goes from here. Pretty standard support Rotom Wash though. The Levitate ability, of course, making it immune to ground type attacks. The coverage is just really nice on the team because you're able to hit those fire types, as well as just electric coverage for those really pesky, bulky waters. Hydro Pump, really strong water type move. Thunderbolt for the electric coverage. Will-O-Wisp is just such a good move in a format where there's so many physical attackers that you want to burn, like the Garchomps and more. And of course, Protect to keep the Rotom healthy. So we'll see how this Rotom is able to apply. I did make, again, a few small tweaks here, but I do think that the natures could make a big difference in some games. So how to use the team? Well, you do have a few different ways of being able to utilize the team. One is the Nasty Plot Golden Go route. You can go for the Golden Go to set up Nasty Plot immediately, and even though there's not like any fake out support, sometimes Golden Go is just able to stick around if the opponent has a pretty passive lead. Just go for Nasty Plot, and then you have access to like Tailwind on Pidgeot or the Willis on Rotom Wash to be able to reduce the opponent's damage output, so Gold is able to set up safer and then be able to sweep under the Tailwind, for example. Another mode you can go for with this team is the Sand modes, which you can either lead immediately with Tyranitar Excadrill, just go for some really strong damage to clean up with Pokemon in the back, or you could be able to have a late game Sand mode where Excadrill might need a little bit help, usually being able to pick up those KOs, so you weaken them early on with other Pokemon, and then go in the end game with Tyranitar and Excadrill under the Sand Rush. It is able to then clean up from there, so that's another way you are able to play and utilize the team. I think leads wise, I do really like Pidgeot plus Rotom Wash. I like Pidgeot plus Golden Go a lot. Golden Go plus Rotom is fine. Tyranitar can lead, especially into some of the weather teams, because you can go with a Mega Tyranitar route instead. Excadrill plus Pidgeot is not too bad. Serena can definitely lead as well for like just being able to pivot around, for instance. Like you could lead Serena plus Excadrill, U-turn out on Tyranitar, and then you have the Sand Rush available. That's also another option that you can go for. Just a multiple different ways that you can approach it. You could also lead with Serena plus Golden Go, so you can have that Queenly Majesty, so Golden Go is not worried about like the Sucker Punch. Low Kick plus Make a Rain can threaten quite a bit. So there are quite a few ways that you can pilot this team. If you'd like to check out the details of the team, they'll be listed down below. And I'm not sure if I can find the creator on this team, unfortunately, because I don't think Limitless shows any of the info on that. So if I ever do find the creator, I'll link them down below. But otherwise, let's start out with this recreation of the team and seeing, is Mega Pidgeot better than Mega Staraptor? We'll find out, I suppose. Alright, we have the Torkoal, Farigiraf, Sylveon, Mawile, Vileplume, and Staraptor. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to be a Trick Room build, probably after you on the Vileplume, dual Wing Beat on the Staraptor. How do I want to approach this matchup? Because it can be a little bit tricky. The Rotom Wash is pretty good here, and I'm glad I made a Bold, because Bold will help us in probably living a play rough for Mawile, which is actually going to be kind of important. Tyranitar is going to be super useful to change the weather from the Torkoal, so that's something really nice here. I might just lead Pidgeot right away. Pidgeot's not bad. Excadrill ain't too bad because it does threaten the Sylveon, which is pretty nice, but I do also have the Golden Go as well. Golden Go can definitely put in a lot of work here too. So what do I want to go here? Maybe Pidgeot plus Golden Go ain't too bad as a lead here. I like Golden Go because it can probably just fire off and Make It Rain immediately and do a ton of damage, while Excadrill, I don't know if this is Hypercut or Mawile or Intimidate, but I do like Golden Go because it's immune to Final Gambit from Staraptor, which is also another big note here. I think Golden Go is really solid with Pidgeot as a lead. It kind of covers like a lot of the Trick Room bases, and if they lead Torkoal plus Vileplume, I could probably just switch out on Tyranitar and be completely fine. And then in the back, I'm liking Rotom Wash because being able to, if I get a burn off, it'd be massive into the Mawile, because I think Mawile is the biggest threat to my team. So let us see what is going to happen in this game. I don't know what they're going to approach here. If they lead Staraptor, I have a game plan. If they lead the Torkoal plus Vileplume, I have a game plan. So it should be all right here. We're going to see Staraptor Farigiraf. So this is completely fine for me, as I do lead my Pidgeot and my Golden Go here. I'm actually not going to Mega Evolve my Pidgeot because I'm going to give myself the option to Mega Evolve if I have to with my Tyranitar. So what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to Nasty Plot immediately with Golden Go because Staraptor doesn't threaten any damage to Golden Go. And I'm going to go for a Protect with my Pidgeot. So we might see Final Gambit plus Trick Room here. And if they do go for Final Gambit, I should be in a really good spot. Yeah, they do go for Final Gambit, exactly perfect. and I am able to set up a nasty plot with my Golden Go, and that's really good because now my Golden Go is actually threatening a lot of damage with Make It Rain plus Hurricane, and my opponent doesn't exactly have a great swap here, as we are going to see the Trick Room go up, and that's completely fine because now I can throw off a Make It Rain, probably KO the Staraptor, I imagine, and if I KO the Staraptor, I'm in a really good spot. So I'm going to go for the Make It Rain. The question is, am I going to go for Hurricane? Am I going to go for Heat Wave? Or am I going to do something else here? I think it's probably just okay to fire off a Hurricane right here into the Staraptor as well, in case I missed a Make It Rain, because Make It Rain can miss now. So I think I'm going to go for the double up in the Staraptor. If I get the KO with Make It Rain, it gets redirected into Ferrograph, and then we just have to stall out the Trick Room turns against the final two, which would be really nice. I don't remember Ferrograph carries Protect on this team. It can, but that's probably okay as well. So we're going to see Ferrograph go for Protect, which is okay, because I don't mind Ferrograph on the board here, as it's not really doing too much at the moment. So we go for Make It Rain here, which is going to do some okay damage, and we do land on the Staraptor, so we don't have to worry about like final Gambit chip. So Staraptor goes down, we do get a -2, so we're back to neutral with Golden Go, but we stalled out 2 turns of Trick Room. We were able to also just not take any damage, and we're up a Pokemon, so that's not like terrible position wise. But let's see who's going to be coming out. It's going to be the Torkoal, and if Torkoal's coming in, that's completely fine. I think here I'd probably want to play, I don't want to play on the offense. I could go into Tyranitar plus click Hurricane. I'm a bit worried if they go into Mawile, however. If they go Mawile, it's a little bit sus here, but I think my best play is probably just to go out in Tyranitar regardless. Like, I could double protect, but I don't think double protect gets me anything the next turn. So I think it's probably my best play is just to go into Tyranitar here. And the question is, what am I doing with Pidgeot? Probably just protecting here, realistically. I could see if I could maybe catch a Maul on a switch with a Heat Wave, but looks like we're not going to see a switch from my opponent's side. So Tyranitar is going to be in a pretty comfortable position. So I'm okay with that. As Helping Hand Eruption going to come out, that's completely fine, because I'm not going to take like any damage here, which is perfect. So we're going to see Pidgeot protect itself, and we're going to see the attack here from my opponent going to be the Eruption coming out. That makes sense. Okay, perfect. Do they Eruption again, or are they going to swap out Torkoal? I'm just curious on who they swap out the next turn. Tyranitar takes absolutely 0 damage. Perfect, okay. Because I'm a little bit worried about Mawile coming in for free, so I'm debating about clicking Heat Wave, because I don't really need Pidgeot to win, and saving health of my Rotom ain't too bad here. I'm thinking of just going for a Rock Slide Heat Wave, because it covers a Maul switch if, let's say, Ferrograph protects and Mawile comes in for the Torkoal slot. I think I'm in a lot of trouble if I don't get any damage here. So I think I'm going to go for a Rock Slide, and I'm going to go for a Heat Wave. Yeah, because I don't need Pidgeot too much here. We are going to see Ferrograph retreat into Mawile. Sylveon. Oh, no, Mawile is very interesting. Okay, they didn't bring their Mega. They go for Eruption, which is fine. Pidgeot actually tanks, so I am able to get a Heat Wave up, plus a Rock Slide. This is really good damage, by the way. Yeah, really good damage. Perfect. Nice. And now they're out of position, because now they only have 1 turn of Trick Room, and I can just double protect to stall out, and then next turn I could just go for Hurricane plus knockoff. Ooh, that's a nice burn. I don't think it's necessary, but the residual damage does put in range of extra Rock Slide damage. So right now, very, very good spot here. Like, I cannot complain about this position. I'm in a fantastic spot. Sylveon definitely going to go down to a Hurricane afterward. I don't think I needed the burn realistically, but yeah, this is the final turn of Trick Room. A simple play that I just have is just going for Protect with Tyranitar, and the question is, do I want to attack with Pidgeot or not? I think at this point, my Golden Go also just wins, so I think I just double protect here. Or I could sack Pidgeot to get in my Golden Go safely, but that doesn't even secure me to win, I think. So I think I'm just double protecting here. Okay, we get a protect off of both. No Torkoal switch. If they switched into Ferrograph, it was fine, because I still threatened it with knockoff plus like a Heat Wave or Hurricane double up, so I was okay with that. They go for Earth Power into the Tyranitar. Interesting choice. And Hyper Voice. Yep, okay. And now we just click knockoff in a Torkoal, and we click Hurricane into the Sylveon. If they go for a quick attack with Sylveon to KO my Pidgeot, that's fine, because then I get a Hurricane, then I get a knockoff and a Torkoal to take the knockout. Sylveon's still on the timer regardless. It just looks really rough for them. So I go for a knockoff here into the Torkoal, and we go for a Hurricane into the Sylveon slot. And that should be good game, because I don't think they can really do much here. So Perfect. Was able to get pretty much every read right. They do retreat Torkoal into Farigiraf. They're hoping to get the Trick Room up, but this knockoff is going to hurt them immensely. Are they quick attacking here? Yeah, they have to quick attack my Pidgeot, but Pidgeot, you have already done the chip damage I need you to. I'm very surprised we didn't see Mobile in this, but it worked out huge for me because now a knockoff is going to come out. Oh, it's Life Orb too. Interesting. So they go down to Sand plus Burn then. As I do get a knockoff, it is going to be the Cobra Berry, but they did activate it, so huge. I am able to get the knockoff into Farigiraf. And now Sylveon is just going down, and there's like no way for my opponent to really win in this position, I'd say, because Rotom Wash is in a really good spot to win. And I still have Tyranitar that could just switch out pretty comfortably and be in a very comfortable position. So feeling pretty good about this spot, as they do realize that they just lose to Tyranitar and they do forfeit the game. So beautiful. Was able to get some pretty good reads at the start of the game, and they weren't really able to position themselves well to sweep me under Trick Room. All right, we have Charizard, Blastoise, Staraptor, Sylveon, Farigiraf, and King Gambit. I'm assuming this is final Gambit Staraptor because usually all the Kanto Stars like having a Mega as well. I think regular Staraptor is the most viable out of not bringing Blastoise and Charizard as Mega Evolutions, and you really don't want 3 Mega Evolutions on the team. So I'm thinking that this is probably going to be, I'd assume it's going to be final Gambit. So what am I doing here lead-wise? Tyranitar is good against the Charizard mode. The Blastoise is the little bit concerning one. I'm thinking probably just going with something similar to what I did against the Trick Room team, although it is a little bit weaker to King Gambit, but I think Pidgeot is pretty decent, plus Golden Go is pretty strong, and then I think in the back just have Rotom Wash and Tyranitar. Serena is not too bad in the matchup, but the thing is against Scarf Staraptor, I just don't think it's really likely to be brought here, and it's not like I can... Maybe I could double up KO for Farigiraf, but I think it's a little bit difficult through Intimidate, which is a factor. Excadrill, it's like okay against the team. It's good in a Sylveon, Farigiraf, and King Gambit, but it still takes a lot of damage in response. I think just Rotom Wash is consistent against a Blastoise. I have Tyranitar for the Charizard. I think Pidgeot is just really strong here because it does give me access to a powerful Hurricane if I want, if necessary. Also, the Heat Waves is actually pretty important damage in a Gambit, because if I can threaten the Gambit, I think that's like the biggest threat to me, but we'll see. Let's see. Also, Hurricane does do pretty good damage and everything else. Tail and Speed Control is also nice if this is like some offensive team. King Gambit Blastoise is definitely an interesting one here. Okay. As I do lead Pidgeot and Golden Go. So this isn't the best lead right off the bat. I would have obviously like preferred leading Rotom, but I don't think this is terrible, I suppose. It's only terrible if they have Shell Smash on this team, which this team really doesn't signal anything that says, hey, this is Shell Smash. I think my best play is just to protect the Pidgeot immediately and go out into Rotom. I could also throw away my Golden Go, but if I throw away Golden Go, the Sylveon's looking really rough. So I think I have to take risk damage on the Rotom Wash to reposition here to threaten Thunderbolt or Will-O-Wisp off afterwards. So we're going to go into Rotom and protect. Oh, wow. No Mega on the Blastoise. It's just a fake out. They just click Water Spout. Okay. That's fine. Is it Scarf? No way. No one runs Scarf Blastoise like this. Decent damage to Rotom. Okay. Low kick. Oh, they read Tyranitar coming in, I guess. Interesting play. I guess they read Tyranitar because like nothing else on my team got affected by low kick. So very interesting turn for me, but you know what? I'm okay with this. I get to Hurricane the Blastoise, weaken the power to Water Spout. I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp into King Gambit because if I get the burn into King Gambit, it's just massive. So I get to weaken a lot of their firepower here. So it should be fine. Let's see what they decide to do here. Don't tell me this is actually Scarf on the Blastoise though. No, it's just Protect. Okay, that's fine. Because I get a Wisp off into King Gambit. If I burn it, massive turn. We do go for the Hurricane into the Blastoise, and we do land the Will-O-Wisp. Okay, really good land there. I really did need to land that one. Okay, perfect. So now the King Gambit's a lot less threatening. Kowtow's doing a lot less damage. This is an attack into Rotom. Yeah, they attack Rotom. That makes sense. But this won't do any damage. Yep. With that burn, thankfully, going to be massive here. Now, I can Tailwind if I want to, or I can just Hurricane Thunderbolt. I kind of like the idea of just going for Hurricane Thunderbolt because they don't have a switch with the Blastoise. So I think I'm just going to go for that Hurricane. Should I Thunderbolt the King Gambit because I could also go for damage to put in range of Heat Wave. I don't think I really need to at this point right now. I think I'm just going to go for damage into the Blastoise with Thunderbolt Hurricane. We're going to see the Hurricane come out into the Blastoise, do a really solid amount of damage, and we do outspeed the Blastoise, so we do get the Thunderbolt knockout into Blastoise before it can even get damage into Pidgeot, which is really nice. So Blastoise down. Water Spout Protect is an interesting set. I wonder what the last two were. They go for Kowtow Cleave again in the Rotom, so I'm kind of curious on what their back is if they're focusing down the Rotom like this. But if it's Sylveon plus the Farigiraf, I feel pretty good with Golden Go. If it's Charizard Farigiraf, I have Tyranitar, so I'm feeling pretty good about like this endgame board. Just have to figure out what the last two Pokemon are. If it's Farigiraf, I double up the King Gambit the next turn with Heat Wave T-Bolt, I feel. Because if I get rid of King Gambit, Golden Go probably just wins, or Tyranitar itself. And yeah, Farigiraf comes out. So I'm assuming I can double up the King Gambit slot pretty safely here with Heat Wave plus Thunderbolt and do a ton of damage. So I'm just going to go for that. Farigiraf could also protect here, but I think they would probably just attempt to get Trick 'em up because they're just so far behind in this game. They kind of need to like get momentum now. They can't really like lose more HP, I think, because they're already super down at this point. Heat Wave, Akaberry Gambit. It is Akaberry Gambit. Okay, that's fine. That explains why it was not doing that much damage. I thought it might have been Chople, but okay, because it definitely wasn't Black Glasses, I'll tell you that much. As we get a Thunderbolt off into the King Gambit, do a ton of damage to that King Gambit slot. They go for Kowtow again into Rotom, which is fine, because Rotom is just taking the attack with ease, and we do see the Trick 'em come out. Okay. Very curious on the last Pokemon. Is it actually the Sylveon? But if it's Sylveon, I'm feeling pretty good about the end game because right now, again, there's not really too much that I'm really too worried about. I think I should probably... Do I want a Heat Wave or do I want to click Hurricane? Because I could punish a switch if they decide, hey, I'm going to switch out the King Gambit. But do I really need to punish it? Because Heat Wave already puts in range of Make It Rain guaranteed regardless. So I think I'm just going to Heat Wave and I'm going to protect the Rotom. I think this is probably Gambit swap out and Farigiraf attack, but like that's fine if it is. Again, if it's Sylveon, we go into Golden Go and we'll be in an okay spot. I just need to make sure I can still out Trick 'em effectively. Looks like no protect here, so I'm assuming I can live a double up here. Let's see. Iron Head, Smart, Hyper Voice, Psychic Fangs. Okay, they have Psychic Fangs. Target the Rotom. Nice, we don't flinch, which is really good. So I get rid of King Gambit, I get extra chip into Farigiraf, and it's looking pretty good. Although there is one thing I do need to mention. What's the last Pokemon? Because the Farigiraf, if it has Psychic Fangs, it might have Low Kick for my Tyranitar. So if it's Charizard back, this could actually be a little bit scary. So something I'm going to have to keep in mind. All right. The final Pokemon's going to be massive here. If it's Sylveon, I feel fine. It is Charizard. Okay, so we still have a game, technically. Okay. I assume Farigiraf can't knock out my Pidgeot, though, with Low Kick. Or my Tyranitar with Low Kick. My best play is just to protect Pidgeot. Return to Trick Room. I still think I'm fine. I go for a Will-O-Wisp into the Giraffe here. They are going to Mega Evolve the Charizard, so that means the weather is set. I'm pretty sure I live Low Kick from Farigiraf. I guess if it's max attack... Well, Farigiraf has really low base attack. I feel like I'm fine still. Oh, they go for a Helping Hand, which is fine. Because I go for a Wisp into Farigiraf, so even if it's Low Kick, we're good. I assume... Well, actually, the Charizard's probably slower than my Rotom, because the Rotom has speed. Yeah, okay, that's fine still. Do I really think it's Low Kick Farigiraf, though? I guess is the big question. I mean, my best play is to go Tyranitar. The question is, what am I clicking? I think I just go Tyranitar. Alright, if this is Low Kick, if it's Black Belt Low Kick for Farigiraf, does it knock out my Tyranitar? That's a good question. But I could lose like a lot of HP for no reason here. So I think I'm actually going to risk it. I think I'm willing to risk it here. I'm just going to click Hurricane into Charizard and I'm going to click Rock Slide. Because if they protect Zard, that's fine. Because then I double protect on the last turn of Tailwind, or last turn of Trick Room. Then I can Tailwind Rock Slide. So that's not like that big of a deal. Yeah, I think this is all right. Like, do they have low kick on the Ferrograv? Because I feel like if you're investing in Psychic Fangs, you might as well have low kick. But they also have Helping Hand. Did we ever see Protect? We didn't see Protect. Okay, they just go for Helping Hand, so they might not have low kick. So they might just have Psychic Fangs for screens. So let's see if I hit... Okay, they are really slow on the Charizard. Like, really, really slow. Okay. Pidgeot goes down, but if Tyranitar just hits one Rock Slide into the Charizard, we're good. And we do hit the Rock Slide, so we do take the knockout on Charizard. I'm like pretty confident that low kick can't knock out the Tyranitar. Like, I'm pretty sure it can't. Just non-invested low kick, or maybe it has attack investment, but it is Sitrus Berry Ferrograv, which is not surprising because it did take the heat wave damage quite well. So we do take the win. Maybe I didn't cover like absolute every option, but I feel like the lead was a good start and they just had a really tough time. All right, we have Charizard, Eternal Floette, Grimmsnarl, Sinistra, Garchomp, and Basket Legion. I wonder if this is Charizard Y or Charizard X. Could be either realistically. I'd probably say it's Charizard Y if you have Garchomp. You're not going to run Charizard X with another dragon usually, but something to keep in mind. Excadrill's pretty good here against the fairies, but Golden Go really is too. Like, Golden Go's fantastic. Pidgeot with the Tailwind mode is also pretty solid. Got a lot of options here. The only problem is... Do I want to lead Golden Go, or do I want to bring I think Pidgeot Golden Go is just so good. Like, I really think it's so good against this kind of team. And then I think in the back, I like Tyranitar a lot. And the question is, do I want Rotom or do I want Serena? Because Serena Triple Axle is actually really good against my opponent's team. Against the Garchomp, mainly. I could also have Serena that's good against Basket Legion, but Rotom's also good into Basque as well. While switching into Earthquake a lot more comfortably than I think the Serena. So I think I'm just going to do Rotom. I think like this 4 is just super solid. Let's see what's going to come out from my opponent's end. But I really do like the idea of just being able to tank attacks pretty nicely. So let's see what my opponent decides to go for lead-wise. Because I don't think they have the best options into this. Like Grimmsnarl Floette, if they didn't bring Charizard, like, well, I was stopping Golden Go from just clicking Nasty Plot, me clicking Tailwind with the Pidgeot, and then just afterward clicking Make It Rain. I really don't think there is. So I think I'm just going to Tailwind immediately with the Pidgeot, because then I have the speed control already set up with Golden Go. I'm actually not going to Mega Evolve, because unless this is Timid Floette, which I don't think it's going to be Timid Floette, I should be fine here. I'm going to go for Nasty Plot and Tailwind here. I could have protected, but the thing is, with Pidgeot, but the thing is, I'm kind of worried if they like hard swapped immediately into like Garchomp turn 1. So I want to make sure I had Tailwind if in case I want to switch out the next turn, but we're going to see Light Screen come out, which is fine. And then what's the Flood doing? As we do get Tailwind up with our Pidgeot, okay. Nasty Plot with the gold. I wonder if Floette lives Make It Rain. I don't think it does. Okay, now with the Calm Mind, it probably does. But I can Hurricane plus Make It Rain, and now they are in, I'd say, a really rough spot. I could also just protect. I think, actually, my best play is just to protect Pidgeot and just Nasty Plot again. Because they could protect Floette to take a Make It Rain. Like, if I Make It Rain to Grimmsnarl to get it to, like, -2, so I'm back to neutral, then the Floette would easily live an attack. So I'm going to protect Pidgeot and just make it Nasty Plot again so I can dress and Make It Rain the following turn. And yeah, that's exactly what they did here. I think they tried to like Parting Shot into something as well. Oh no, they just set up screen. Okay, that's fine by me. That's fine by me. +4 definitely KOs. The question is, am I going for Floette or am I targeting the Grimmsnarl slot? I think I just targeted the Grimmsnarl slot with Hurricane. Hurricane Make It Rain kind of covers everything. And I'd be shocked, even if you have Light Screen and +1, I don't think... Maybe I should just Heat Wave, because Heat Wave also covers like for a lot as well. Actually, no, I'm just going to Hurricane Make It Rain to Floette. I'm like pretty sure that +4 Make It Rain will KO, but the thing is, like, it's not really invested Golden Go. Like, I do have a modest nature over what was timid on the original team, but I think it's still better to just go for Hurricane Make It Rain into Floette. I could also get a Confusion in case we get unlucky, because you never know. We could get unlucky because Make It Rain can I'm not going to say it until the actual turn plays out. Grimmsnarl parting shots, which is to be expected. I thought they were going to parting shot out the last turn. Basket Legion comes in. I could have punished it, but like that's fine. Hurricane into the Floette. Does like nothing, but that makes sense. Okay, we have Make It Rain, so we should KO the Floette with ease. Yep. Okay, really good turn. We get rid of Floette, and now we can just stretch and Shadow Ball into Bass, which is pretty good. So I will gladly take that. Floette goes down. So there's no Charizard. Tyranitar's value is a lot less useful in this game. So something I can keep in mind. Maybe I just go out into... Oh, Sinistcha comes in. Okay. I'm pretty sure I could just Hurricane plus Shadow Ball, double up a slot. The question is, do I want to target the Sinistcha or do I want to target the Basque? There's one more turn of Trick Room. If they Trick Room, it's a little bit annoying, but Tyranitar is actually an okay spot, I suppose. I think I just got to read if the Basque has Protect or not, because Sinistcha could Protect here. I think I'm going to double up the Sinistcha, though. I think doubling up the Sinistcha is fine. Ah, okay, they got me. They got me on that. So they probably go for Last Respect, but that's all right, I suppose. Good play on their part. I don't need gold too much anymore, so it's all right. I can go out into Tyranitar and probably click Tailwind Knockoff into Basque, which is fine. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. So we're going to Tailwind with our Pidgeot, and we're going to go for Knockoff into Basque. If it's Scarf Basque, they could switch out into Grim. I think this is Scarf Basque on this team is a question. No, I think it probably has both. You know what? I'm just going to knock out the Basque in Tailwind. Did they go for Grim plus... You see, I'm calling these, but I'm not punishing it, which is a problem. All right, we get a Tailwind up with Pidgeot. I don't think they trick him. I think they probably just click Macha Gotcha. They still don't have like the best offense, I guess, into Pidgeot, which isn't too bad here. But yeah, definitely could have been like way better turns I could have capitalized. Did they Trick Room? No, they just Macha Gotcha. Okay. Which is not terrible because I can still threaten Hurricane plus Knockoff. No burn on T-Tar either. Okay, perfect. I think I'm going to double protect here. Even though you might be thinking, oh, you're stalling your own Tailwind. I think it's fine because I really want to scout for the Sinistcha Protect and what the attack from Grimmsnarl is going to be this turn. Because now it's like, okay, I can do damage into Grimmsnarl, but it's not that much damage. I think they have to respect the double up into the Sinistcha with a Hurricane knockoff situation. So I think they have to protect here. Because if I just double on the Sinistcha, they're in a really rough spot. Okay. Or maybe they think they survive? Spirit Break, that makes sense. It's in a T-Tar, not Pidgeot, okay. I'm curious if it is Scarf Bass, because that's actually really important information to note. I feel like I need to get rid of Sinistcha. Are they going to make a read? But I guess I could double up the Sinistcha the next turn if it doesn't work out. Okay, it's Cobra Berry. Oh, that's why, okay. So they would have lived the double up regardless. So maybe I should have Heat Wave Knockoff instead. But I don't think that would have KO'd Sinistcha. That's a problem. All right. We get some damage into Sinistcha, which isn't too bad. We get the Confusion, which is actually pretty decent. Knockoff. Still some pretty solid damage to Sinistcha. Okay, they get a Macha Gotcha again. Dealing with the Grim is going to be concerning. Okay, they get a lot of recovery here. I'm just curious, can I beat the Rotom? Or beat the Basque? I probably can in the end game. It's going to be a bit tricky. But Tyranitar goes down. Hurricane should knock out the Sinistcha after sand damage. I could probably get a Wisp off into the Grimmsnarl upcoming. I think I have to make another read here. Do I Wisp the Grimmsnarl Protect or do I just raw Hurricane? They could hit themselves, so I could go for that as well. But I think my play is just to always just protect Pidgeot and Wisp. Because we also stall out the last turn of Light Screen. Yeah, so I think Protect Wisp is correct. I think. Could be wrong, but we'll see. I do want to hit the Wisp on the Grimmsnarl because if we hit the Wisp in the Grimmsnarl, we do put in range of a... What's it called? We do force it to potentially Light Screen the next turn. Protect? Yes, okay. I got that one right at least. Okay, that's good. Nice. Big Wisp hit. Big Wisp hit. So now the Grimmsnarl's kind of on a timer. Spirit Break does come out in a Pidgeot because they were trying to hope for like Spirit Break and a parting shot, live the next attack, which makes sense. Now I can go for Hurricane, T-Bolt, and the Sinistra. And the reason I'll double up the Sinistra, one, I'm pretty sure Hurricane's going to knock it out even if they parting shot, but it covers the Basket Legion switch as well. So I always go for Hurricane and I T-Bolt. If they set up Light Screen, that's fine. If they Spirit Break, I'll survive. So I feel like this is always the play regardless. I would love to find out if it's Scarf Basque, but I don't think I'll be able to find out that info, unfortunately. We do see a Light Screen come out, so I get a Thunderbolt off into Grim, which is actually really good for me. Okay. So we get a Hurricane off and a T-Bolt. Massive. So Sinistra goes down. Fantastic. Don't have to worry about Machigacha anymore. I get a free T-Bolt off into Grimmsnarl. And that damage is always going to be really impactful. Ooh, was that a crit? Yeah, I was about to say, that was a crit. That makes it easier because now the Grimmsnarl has less turns to work with. So this is really, really good of a spot. Reflect wears off. Do I live Last Respect with Rotom here? I don't KO the Basque, which is the only concern here. I think I live the Last Respect. Because I'm bold. So I think my play is just a double protect. Stall out a turn of burn from the Grim. And then next turn we probably whisk the Basque and Tailwind. Man, I just wish I could have found out if this was Scarf Basque, because if it's Scarf Basque, it can't not... Okay, they're going to forfeit. I wonder if it was Scarf Basque because they have to lock in the Last Respect, and if they lock in the Last Respect, Pidgeot basically wins the game. So that's why I was like kind of confused on that end game. I think it was Scarf Basque by how they were playing. But I do think that I kind of just made a bunch of mistakes in that game. Like, the early turns were really good, but I didn't capitalize more on my momentum and gave my opponent openings to actually come back in the game. I was too busy trying to figure out, like, okay, I think they might have to protect here. Then they didn't protect and went offensive. I could have went for Heat Wave knockoff, I think, which would have done more damage into the Sinistra looking back at it. I kind of just gave them opportunities to come back into the game, but I think there were still some calls. I think it could have gone wrong if I didn't really get that positioning right. But yeah, like stuff like the Bass switching out, could have caught like the Sinistra, which was probably more threatening. There were just like, I think quite a few turns where maybe if I got like one more read right, I think I would have just absolutely have sealed it at that point. All right, we have Frostlass, Glaceon, Sneasler, Incineroar, Aerodactyl, and King Gambit. Okay, I'm not a big fan of dealing with Frostlass, Glaceon, but I guess I have Sand and Golden Go, so this matchup's probably really good for me. Aerodactyl a little bit annoying, King Gambit kind of scary. There's a lot of Pokemon that are like what ifs right here. Okay. This is a matchup where I'm bringing Excadrill because I feel like if I don't bring Excadrill on this, like what am I bringing Excadrill for? And I think the answer is like no. Every time I want to bring Excadrill, it's like why am I bringing Excadrill? Like sure it does threaten Iron Head damage, like pretty good Iron Head damage into a lot of their team. But Golden Go is really, really nice against their team. It walls the Sneasler. I guess like I had to play way more scared of the Gambit, and then there's the Incin, which maybe I just go Tyranitar Excadrill with Rotom plus Pidgeot. That's not bad either, realistically. I think I'm just going to do Excadrill Rotom lead or Excadrill Pidgeot. Excadrill Pidgeot's not terrible either. I think Rotom's pretty good lead-wise though. Like just being able to burn the Sneasler or the King Gambit's pretty nice. And then I think I bring Pidgeot plus T-Tar. The only thing is maybe Gold was better just because I have a fighting immunity. Having that fighting immunity is pretty good. Like, or maybe I should have led Pidgeot if I'm doing this. But I could also burn the Sneasler or just threaten him with Earthquake immediately. So I guess it's not terrible. But let's see what the lead is. Incineroar Gambit. Okay. Curious where the double up's going. I also am curious if they click. I mean, I think they should click Fake Out. I don't think I'm at bring Serena in this matchup, but something to keep in mind. I could double protect here, but I don't think that's necessary. I think this is probably Ironhead King Gambit. I don't think it's Sword Stance on their team. I don't think it's very likely. So I think my play here is just to go for a Protect with X. Do I want to Protect Exca? Because the Protect Exca is pretty obvious. I think I'm okay with just going for Earthquake plus Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, I think Protect Will-O-Wisp is fine. Because I either get Earthquake damage or I get Wisp. Yeah, they go for Fake Out into Rotom too. So I get a good Earthquake damage off. Even though it's -1, this is going to still do a lot of damage. And if they doubled up Rotom, I think this is a pretty good turn for me. Because look at all that damage I just got here. So let's see what they did. Kowtow? Low kick into Exca. Okay, that... Was that crit? Okay, it wasn't a crit. I was about to say Exca's not like super heavy. But yeah, that's fine, I guess. So I do threaten like a bunch of moves. Hydro Pump is a pretty good one here. I could Wisp the King Gambit as well. I think my play here is just to go Pidgeot and just threaten a Hydro Pump into the Incineroar. Because they don't have a good Hydro Pump switch. I could see Sucker Punch into Exca. I could see Kowtow to Rotom. I think both I'm willing to accept here. So let's go for the Hydro Pump. Yeah, they do Sucker to Exca. So good, I get to preserve it. And I do land Hydro. So Incin goes down, which is massive. I get rid of Incin. Great. The Gambit's weakened as well. Pidgeot's not in a terrible spot. All right. I'd say a pretty good turn so far. But let's see who's coming out. Frostlass? Frostlass makes sense. Okay. I mean, I'm just protecting my Pidgeot, and I think I go for... Do I go for Thunderbolt or do I go for Wisp? I think I Wisp the King Gambit. Because if it's low kick, I think it's Ironhead. I think it's 4 attacks. They're probably just going to click Blizzard plus Kowtow. I could also see Aurora Veil come out here, which is fine. I don't mind if it's Aurora Veil. But yeah, I think this is a pretty decent turn. I guess the question is what the last Pokemon is, but I should be fine against all of them. They do go for Veil, so Wisp is the best play here. So that works out really well, assuming I land. Nice. Okay, huge hit into the King Gambit. So we burned the King Gambit. It's doing a lot less now. And now I have a few options where I think I'm just going to go out into... They keep trying to read the T-Tar switch, but I have no reason to switch in T-Tar that turn. Because if I switch in T-Tar that turn, they get to Snow Up. So, like, I guess maybe if they think I'm not going to Mega the Pidgeot and Mega the T-Tar instead. But yeah, they're going to probably be spamming Low Kick this entire rest of the game. I think we just go out and Excadrill here and probably just Thunderbolt the King Gambit slot. They're probably just clicking Blizzard and Low Kick. Or maybe they Kowtow finally. Oh, they retreat the Gambit. Is this Glaceon? That's fine. Okay. Because that means once I sack my Excadrill, hopefully here, yep, to Blizzard, I get the free switch to T-Tar. So now T-Tar with Rock Slide threatens so much damage. And we get rid of the snow, so we don't have to worry about the snow defense boost. It is Snow Cloak. Yep. Okay, that's fine. T-Tar in. Do I want to low kick the Frostlass slot? Not really. I think I'm just going to Rock Slide and I'm going to T-Bolt the Glaceon. I guess the endgame could be a bit concerning, but I still think I'm okay. Because this is Gambit. I get a Rock Slide T-Bolt off into Glaceon. I don't think that KOs, but it'll do a lot. If they protect, that's fine too. Because I'm not really too... Again, I'm not really too worried about Burn to Gambit at the moment. I'm kind of curious if we're going to see a swap or not the following turn, I suppose. Because we could see a swap into Frostlass. But I could Mega Evolve T-Tar instead of Pidgeot in this game, which might be better for me. Because I could see two plays. I could see them going to Frostlass, clicking Freeze Drying to Rotom, or... Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for Double Protect here. I think Double Protect is better. Okay. We also stall out a burn damage. We stall out some sand damage in the Glaceon, so that probably puts in the range of the double KO. So that's what I'm going for here. They go for Freeze Dry into Rotom, makes sense. And they go out for a low kick into T-Tar. Okay. Do I want to low kick the Gambit? I could low kick the Gambit. I have like so many options. I can low kick the Gambit. I think I go down to Freeze Dry from Glaceon, which is the only concerning part here. But I think that's overall okay. I think I'm going to go for the low kick in the Gambit. And I guess we're going to get damage in the Glaceon with T-Bolt. Do they actually switch out Frostlass now? Yeah, okay. I thought they were going to do that like a turn prior, but alright. Frostlass coming in. Because I could have low kicked the Gambit earlier and it would have been curtains, I think. We get a T-Bolt off, which is actually good damage. Okay. And then they're going for Freeze Dry again. Does this KO Rotom? Oh, they went for Blizzard. Okay. I feel like Blizzard puts them in a worse spot, so I'm shocked. Aurora Veil wears off too, so I don't mind this turn because now I just threaten Rock Slide. Am I gonna go to Pidgeot now? Nah, I'm just gonna double the Frostlass, I think, with T-Bolt. Do I think Frostlass KOs me here? If it does, I trade for the Frostlass. No, this is still fine, yeah. I Mega Evolve T-Tar, click Rock Slide. Because if they double out here, it's fine, right? Because Rock Slide, if I hit the Glaceon, I KO the Glaceon. I'll KO the Gambit this turn. Then I could sack Pidgeot to win with my T-Tar. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, because if they protect, I get the Rock Slide T-Bolt double up into the King Gambit slot, so I'm good. Yeah, and even if I miss Rock Slide, the burn will KO. All right, this is fine. I guess the question is, I mean, I think they have to set up Veil, right? But does Veil even save them in this spot? I don't even think it does. Because once I get rid of the Snow defense boost, I think they're in a really tough spot. The Frostlass coming in. Single Tar Blizzard will knock out T-Tar. I think my play is just always to Thunderbolt the Frostlass, put in range of Thunderbolt or from Rock Slide, even if Veil goes up. So I think I go for Thunderbolt into Frostlass. They could Shadow Ball Blizzard here, but I don't think it's likely. I think they're going to go for double Blizzard or Aurora Veil, yeah. So I think I get the play right. It's going to come down to some Blizzards and Rock Slides, but that's basically what's going to come down to. But Pidgeot goes down. I'm all right with that. Thunderbolt into the Frostlass. Like, they just don't live Rock Slide with either of their Pokemon anymore. And Blizzard. All right. T-Tar just has to clutch up. They also have to hit like ice moves in sand, which is also something that they have to do. So I have higher odds, I think, of winning this game. Like, I think my probability is probably higher than my opponent's, but of course this is a game of Pokemon, so probability, of course, anything can happen. So we'll go for Rock Slide. I could protect, but I don't think there's a reason. I don't think I want to stall out my own sand. I think I just want the Rock Slide because, like, I KO both of them regardless. So no reason of stalling out my own sand for like them to have no special defense boost in my T-Tar to KO. Okay, they go for Baby Doll Eyes. I don't think that changes anything. I'm pretty sure I'm still KOing. They go for Blizzard. They hit it. Please just hit, like, Frostlass at least. Okay, we hit both. We should KO with both. Yep. I don't KO the Glaceon, but it goes down to sand. So, regardless, felt it was fine. As I said, I felt the odds were still pretty high. Baby Doll Eyes is a Q-Tech, but I still was able to pretty much just KO the Frostlass because I got the Thunderbolt damage earlier. And yeah, could have played maybe a bit better towards that end, but having that Mega T-Tar option was just really nice against the snow stuff. All right, we have the Garchomp, Basculegion, Eternal Floette, Whimsicott, Charizard, King Gambit, the Big Six. Not exactly sure what my matchup is in the Big Six, but I guess we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Is it bad I just want to do the same game plan? Like, it's just, I feel like the lead game plan is just so consistent. I don't want to bring Excadrill on this because Even though Iron Head's nice for the Floette and the Whimsicott mode, it's like a lot weaker than everything else. I think for my opponent, they have to bring Garchomp. I think they want Basque. I'm thinking they probably bring Whimsicott. I feel like Whimsicott Gambit. I feel like no Mega is actually the best thing they could bring against my team. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. I'm thinking I'm doing either Gold plus Pidgeot or Rotom. I'm thinking Rotom's a good lead here because my opponent does have the best offense against Rotom immediately. And if I could burn the Garchomp on lead, that'd be really nice. Because if I lead Golden like Garchomp Whims, I think it's a little bit weird. Or into Gambit immediately. I think I'm going to lead, or into just Basket Legion could be tough. So I think I'm going to lead Rotom, Pidgeot, have Golden Go in the back in case they bring the Float mode. I don't think they are, and I'm going to bring T-Tar. I think this should be all right. I could have also seen myself bring Serena. Serena might have been actually better than Gold if I don't expect a Float, but they might decide to bring Float because of the damage to Rotom Wash is kind of limited that they have. Because they have Solar Beam maybe on Charizard, but we already see Whimsicott Garchomp. So I do get the lead right, like really right here. So that's really nice. Okay. Pidgeot plus the Rotom. I can go for Wisp, and I could go for a Golden Go switch, which is pretty good to me. So I think I'm going to definitely go for the Wisp and the Garchomp. The question is, what am I doing with the Rotom? They could protect Moonblast, but I don't think that's likely here. Tailwind Rock Slide seems pretty likely here, in my opinion. So I do like Gold here, because I don't want Pidgeot to take too much damage right off the bat, because I think it could have some usefulness later on in the match. So I think Gold and Go Will-O-Wisp is fine here. Let's see. They do go for Tailwind. I'm assuming this is Tailwind Rock Slide. Maybe they Dragon Claw to Rotom, but I'm okay with that. Okay? Come on, Rotom. Come on, Rotom. Nice. Nice. Big burn into the Garchomp. Also, it's not Life Orb, so it's probably Life Orb Basket Legion you want to think in the back. Okay. So I'm feeling pretty good about this spot. Next turn, I can threaten Wisp into the Whimsicott and make it rain, which I am probably going to go for because it does cover like King Gambit coming in. So I'm going to go for Wisp, make it rain. They could Moonblast, Rock Slide, or Dragon Claw again. That's fine. They could protect EQ. I'm okay with that as well. I would like to get a Whimsicott to prevent future Tailwinds from going up, which seems really nice here. So I'm going to go for Make It Rain plus Wisp here into the Whimsicott. It covers like a lot of switch-ins. It doesn't cover Charizard, but I don't know if Charizard wants to come in here. If Charizard comes in, it's fine. I still have a T-Tar in the back that's like super safe. So I feel that this is a pretty reasonable like course of action because it covers a lot of plays that my opponent can go for. They're going to go for Rock Slide again, so they're just building up damage in a Rotom. That makes sense. Grass Knot. So they got rid of Moonblast for Grass Knot on the Whimsicott to help improve the Swampert matchup, but we do land another Wisp. This Rotom is looking pretty good. This Rotom's looking pretty good. Golden Go, are you going to show me the money here? And the KO both is the question. And it hits. Okay, so we get rid of the Whimsicott. Very nice. Good damage to Chomp too. All right, beautiful turns. Beautiful turns. So how many turns of Tailwind do they have left? 2, right? So just got to play around those 2 and we'll be good. Of course, there is still going to be the threat of the Basket Legion, but right now it's looking pretty good. Do I even need Gold for the rest of the game? Probably not, unless it's Float back. Do I think it's Float back? Probably unlikely, but let's see what my opponent decides to bring out. Oh, Charizard is back. Okay. I do have a T-Tar, so I'm not too concerned about this. I think I'm just going to Double Protect. I don't see a problem with Double Protecting. I have Sitrus Berry on the Rotom. I had more health on the Rotom than I expected initially, so this is looking pretty good here. I don't need Gold, so I could have sacked it maybe to bring in T-Tar immediately, but I think this is still a really good spot. Do I want to try to catch the Basque on the Switch? Probably not. I probably just click Thunderbolt. I think I should just click Thunderbolt, swap to Tyranitar. I click Rock Slide again and Heat Waves. No, they Solar Beam this time. That makes sense. Okay, they're looking really bad now because I can just click Thunderbolt into swap into the T-Tar. which is exactly what I'm going to do because there's no reason to. If it's not Sitrus Berry Chomp, it's probably Roselli Berry, which doesn't impact the match at all for me. Even if they Earthquake, they're not doing that much damage with Chomp, and I get a free T-Bolt off into Charizard to put in Hurricane range. So I think regardless, like, this is still a really good spot. Like, I can't really see that much going super wrong here. Even if they Rock Slide flinch my Rotom, that's fine. Because the Thunderbolt damage isn't the most necessary here, as they do go for Earthquake, so Tyranitar is taking the Earthquake on the switch, but that's fine. This is Heat Wave too, or are they Weather Balling the Rotom? I don't think that KOs Rotom, but we'll see. No, they Heat Wave, okay. Eat the Sitrus Berry. As we get a Thunderbolt off into the Charizard for pretty good damage. I gotta watch out for a Scarf Bask endgame, I guess, because all my Pokemon are in range of Wave Crash, so something I have to keep in mind. I don't really want to let the Bask in for free. I just don't know if they can pick up a knockout into my T-Tar slot. Ideally, maybe I should have sacked Gold, brought in Pidgeot. I think it's Life Orb on it, though. I think I just double up the Charizard with knockoff T-Bolt. If they Earthquake, this is fine. As long as it's not Scarf Bask. I think that's just a question. Are you Scarf Bask or not? Okay, do I get a double knockout here? I think I do. Okay, this actually works too, because then I could just focus my effort on the Bask. I wasn't expecting to get a double knockout here, but this works. I think. Yeah, because I get to see if it's Scarf on the... I get to confirm Scarf on the Gold this upcoming turn. Because I lose the T-Tar here. Rotom, I think, survives the Sand. If it doesn't, that's fine. But I'm pretty sure I live Sand by like... Actually, no, I don't, right? Because it's 9 exactly. Yeah, it's 9 exactly. Okay, that's fine still. I should have the game locked, actually. Yeah, it is Bask. But the thing is, if there's Scarf, they have to lock into Wave Crash because otherwise they just can't hit Pidgeot. So I get to confirm if it's Scarf Bask this turn by double protecting. I mean, what do they have? Agility? I don't like... I've used Agility Bask. I was probably one of the first place I ever used Agility Bask in VGC. But yeah, I just don't see it here. I think I'm just double protecting. Because I get to confirm if it's Scarf Bask and it really just shows how... Do I Tailwind or do I Shadow Ball? The only thing is I did change the goal to Modest, so if they are Jolly Bass, they can outspeed me. I don't think there's anything wrong with going for the Sand damage because I then have a higher chance of Shadow Ball KOing the Bass. So I think I Tailwind Shadow Ball here. If it's not Scarf. If it is Scarf, I just click Hurricane Shadow Ball the following turn. We'll confirm after the Sand damage, like, does Bass take it or does Pidgeot take the Sand damage first? They last respect, so it's probably not Scarf. You want to assume that. Okay, and Pidgeot took the Sand damage first, so this means, yeah, it shouldn't be Scarf. So now I can go for Tailwind plus Shadow Ball, and I should be fine. Because even if Shadow Ball doesn't KO, I'm pretty sure even if it's Sitrus Bask, I probably put in Hurricane range. And they're going to protect, so I just Tailwind Shadow Ball. So they need 3 protects to be jolly, and even then they're taking Sand damage for a little bit longer, so that means it's more likely that I KO. Like, the only Bass I think could have won maybe is like Sitrus Berry. Colbert or the Ghost Berry doesn't change anything here, so Shadow Ball plus Hurricane will be enough to clean up the Bass, which is nice. So here comes a Hurricane into the Bask. That does so much damage. I guess a Confusion, but that's not even necessary. And yeah, I'm like really assuming that this is going to probably be that Life Orb Basket Legion because the Garchomp wasn't Life Orb. I think the Basket Legion was probably Life Orb, which means I probably had the game sealed. So Basket Legion gone is very nice, and we do seal up the victory here. So very, very solid. I feel like lead-wise, everything worked out. No Rock Slide flinches helped a lot there, and I was able to build up a lot of momentum. All right, we're going to see Grimmsnarl, Eternal Flood, Incineroar, Torkoal, Sinistra, and the Farigiraf. This matchup's interesting. What do I want to go here? What do I want to go here? So I don't know if they're leading Instant Farigiraf or they're leading Instant Floette. They only have one Mega Evolution, which is a Floette. Golden Go is going to be brought. Is this a game where I can even bring Pidgeot? I mean, like, if I don't bring Pidgeot, it's not the worst thing. I'm a little bit scared of, like, if this is Calm Mind Floette, I suppose. It should be Calm Mind Floette, I think, on this team. Golden Go is good. Just dealing with the combination of Floette and Instant is just really annoying. Maybe I lead Gold plus Pidgeot. No Rotom. Rotom's not that great other than a switch, but I do have T-Tar that could just switch into the Sun moves. I think this is fine. Bring Excadrill, T-Tar. Because I'm thinking of like, okay, I'm expecting like Floette's lead. If they lead Floette Instant, then what I can do, I have a game plan against it, but let's see. If they lead Instant, this could be a little bit rough, but let's find out. Or if they lead Instant, what's it called? Instant for Rega could be a bit rough, but this is a pretty good lead here for me, I'd say. Because now I can just threaten a Nasty Plot immediately with the Golden Go and just click a Tailwind. Okay. So they didn't lead Instant Floette, which was one of the leads I was expecting. I thought it was Instant plus either Floette or Instant plus Farig. So this kind of works out for me, but we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of things that could go wrong here, depending on their team, because it's like a little bit hard to grasp on like what surprise sets they could have. But we'll see. We do probably see Light Screen, Calm Mind. No, they protected. Okay, so I get a Calm Mind. I get a Nasty Plot plus Hurricane, which is beautiful. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, I'd say. So we get a Tailwind Pidgeot and we get a Nasty Plot. Okay. I just click Make It Rain here because they already used to Protect, so I might as well just go for damage at this point. I might as well just go for the Hurricane into the Floette, or did I target the Grim? I think I targeted the Grim. Because I don't... Yeah, because Floette's switching to Instant probably. Yeah. Are they going to Parting Shot? If they Parting Shot, somebody take a Hurricane, Make It Rain. So I don't think anything in the back can survive that combo of Hurricane, Make It Rain. Maybe for Farigiraf, but then they just take so much damage that I think they just lose off that, so that's fine. Yeah, they Parting Shot my Pidgeot. That's what I expected. Okay. And because it's priority, they either have to go into Floette, which they don't want to go to Floette, so it's probably the last Pokemon, and I'm assuming this is Sinistra. Yep, exactly. So I assume Hurricane, Make It Rain will take the KO here. And now Excadrill's looking really good. Confusion, doesn't really matter. I think Make It Rain does KO this and shut that range. Yeah. Perfect. Very, very nice. So my opponent doesn't have access to recovery, which is really good for me. They didn't bring Torkoal, so I get to keep Sand up. Excadrill T-Tar in the back is looking really good to clean up. I mean, really good to clean up. Blood coming in, that's fine. We just need damage, and we don't care if Golden Go goes down realistically. So I'm going to just go for Make It Rain Hurricane into the Instant. Yeah, that's fine. All right, they don't Protect, so I get a free Hurricane off into Instant for some chip. And we do land another Make It Rain, so that's really nice. That means Floette takes a lot. I wonder if they Parting Shot the Pidgeot or not. Sitrus Berry on the Instant, which is not surprising. I did want to get as much damage to the Instant as possible, because if I get damage to Instant, it's like harder for them to come in onto Excadrill. They Flare Blitz immediately, which is fine too. They take the recoil. As I said before, I didn't really mind if Gold went down because I just get a free switch into Excadrill now. A crit doesn't matter here, I think. I'm pretty sure Flareblitz, I mean, I guess if it's not invested, it might have, but like, I think at the end of the day, Excadrill's just coming in and it's like, what's stopping the Excadrill from sweeping here? I think I click Ironhead Hurricane into the Instant slot because they're forced to protect Floette and either switch out Incineroar into Grimmsnarl or they have to sack the Incineroar here. I can play aggressive too because, yeah, exactly. Because they're in such a desperate spot. If I click Earthquake Hurricane into Floette, they just lose. Yep. So I get to double up into Grim and then I just win the game because I can just switch out my Excadrill in the following turns if I really, really want to. So here comes a Hurricane into the Grim. Drew the light screen and the parting shot, honestly still doing some pretty solid damage, but that Iron Head into Grim is the more important one. We do take the knockout into Grim, and now the game is just sealed. Perfect. Tailwind peters out, but like as I said before, this was pretty rough for my opponent. Now, I just prevented them from getting an option to get like parting shot or reflect up in this game, so that's pretty important. So now I can probably just seal up the win here by realistically just going in a T-top. They're Draining Kiss and they get the recovery. It should still be fine. Actually, no, I just don't protect. Yeah. Because like they can Calm Mind again, it doesn't change anything. I was thinking if I go T-Tar, I get the sand damage, but if they go for Drain Kiss and the T-Tar switch in, they get a lot of recovery. I guess it's a little bit annoying. But so I'm just going to go for Double Protect. There's no reason not to. Yeah, it's Draining Kiss. They target Pidgeot, but that also makes sense. Okay. Now we just go for Earthquake Tailwind here. Or I guess I could Earthquake Hurricane. I think Tailwind's fine though. Because Earthquake will KO the instant. It's Adamant Earthquake from Exca. If I don't KO at 32%, like, this Mon is definitely something. But here comes Earthquake. Gonna take the knockout to instant. Probably does like 25 to Floette or 30. Okay. We KO the instant. Draining Kiss. I mean, they get a lot of recovery back, but... Ooh, a bit more than I was expecting. Okay. That's still fine, though. I can just go for Iron Head, and I could swap to T-Tar. There's, like, a lot of plays I could do to seal up this end game. But I think T-Tar get to sand up in case they protect and get Iron Head damage is still pretty nice. So, yeah, I don't really see a problem with this. Like, there's so many ways I could probably wrap up this end game, and I can't really see myself losing this position just because I have to Sash for ensured safety. We get the Iron Head off. They have to Draining Kiss again, which is fine. Yeah, they Draining Kiss the Exca, but, like, it's nowhere near enough. And now... Basically, I always have speed control of Excadrill, so I can just spam attacks here with Iron Head plus an attack, and they can't do anything. Excadrill is just always going to be faster Floette, and they realize that too, so it's going to forfeit. Like, even if they stall out Sand turns, I have Pidgeot that can come in, click Tailwind, where I always switch out to T-Tar. I could get Sand Rush back up, but yeah, it's just impossible to win. All right, we have Eternal Floette, the Farigiraf, Basky Legion, Sneasler, King Gambit, and Incineroar. Okay, This matchup's a bit strange. We do have the Incin. The Farig is making it a bit difficult. The Sneasler's also a bit tough. And of course, they do have the Floette. So do I want to bring Rotom in this game? Rotom's nice, but I think I kind of can't. I want to do the Tailwind Sand mode, I think, again. The question is, am I leading Golden Go this time? That's a tough one here. I do think Pidgeot's fine. I do want to bring it against Sneasler, which is pretty threatening. And having a fast Mon to help with Bask is pretty solid. I think it's... Could be Sash or Scarf on the basket this game. Huh. Do I just go with the safe go-to, like always? I don't think it's too bad. Rotom's nice, but I don't think it's needed here. Let's try this out. I could lead Exca, but I am suspecting Instant does lead. I'm kind of just curious on what they exactly go with lead-wise. It's either Farig, Ensign. I think Float Ensign makes a lot of sense. Or maybe they keep Ensign in the back. Who knows? But Ensign Gambit. Okay. I wish I'd Rotom, but this is not great. This is not great position-wise. All right. So before, we had an opponent go crazy and click the low kick into Golden Go. If they click low kick into Golden Go, really good play on their part, but I'm just going to click Protect, go into T-Tar, because I can't really risk Golden Go here. I need it for the Float. So we'll go into T-Tar and threaten Heat Wave low kick the following turn, I suppose. Ideally, but let's see. Flare Blitz into Pidgeot. Okay, is this Kowtow? Nice, okay. They didn't call it, which is good. And now I do threaten a lot of damage here. Do I want a Hurricane Rock Slide or do I want a low kick? I might need the low kick immediately into Gambit. But if they protect, we're in an awful spot. If it stays their Bass Gambit, it's maybe the Black Glasses Gambit. I think I'm just going to go for a Rock Slide Hurricane into the Ensign. If I can get rid of Ensign, that's really nice for gold and Exca. And I also do have, at worst case, a flinch chance on the King Gambit if I get the play wrong. So let's see. Nice. Really good turn. Really good turn. Assuming I hit. I can't miss Hurricane because of no guard, which is good. Barely put it out of range of Sitrus. We get confusion. Probably doesn't matter if I hit, though. Okay. Oh, hit yourself. Okay, now it's justified. Hit yourself. Never lucky. Okay. This is probably into Float. Man, that Rock Slide hit would have been so nice here. I think this is winnable, but this is still really rough. Okay. Float comes in. Man, this game would have probably been over. I'm assuming it's not Farigiraf in the back, so I'm kind of curious on what the last one is, whether it's Sneeze or Basky Legion. This is probably an attack from the Float. I don't know if the Gambit swaps out here. I think I probably just have to spam Rock Slide, maybe go for like one flinch here, because that's how bad the position just got. I'm gonna go for it. They don't switch. I could have low kicks, but that's fine, I suppose. Let's see if we can get a flinch here, which would be very justified, I think. So, also like playing these range into potential Earthquake from X is still not bad here for me. So I'm gonna go for that. We go for Tailwind. So our T-Tar's faster than Float. I also couldn't see an instant for the Gambit slot. We do land a Rock Slide this time. Okay. Bulky Float for sure. That took nothing. Nice. Okay. They tried to call us swap into Golden Go, so I'm glad I didn't swap here. I wonder if Hurricane Rock Slide takes a knock on the Float. That's close. Was I parting shot with T-Tar? Yeah, that explains why the Rock Slide didn't do anything. Okay. I think I'm just going to go for a low kick into the Gambit then. I'm going to low kick and Heat Wave. Just trying to get damage. They sucker, which is cool. Is this Dazzle? Pidgeot lives. I get a Heat Wave off. I'm kind of surprised. I think Hurricane Rock Slide could have KO'd the Float, but I get big damage. Knock out the King Gambit. That's really good for gold. And Exca, the problem is the last Pokemon. If it's Scarf Bask or if it's Jolly Bask, we're in trouble. Oh, they Moonblasted. Okay, that works pretty well. Yes. Okay. Don't mind that one. Okay. T-Tar down, but I do not mind. We're gonna go into gold. We go gold because they're probably going Insane here. Yep. We're gonna do some maneuvering. We're gonna protect the... So they have Protect Flare Blitz here as an option. They have Fake Out as well, but I think my best place to switch out gold, say Pidgeot, go on to Exca here. Because I think it's really likely they click Dazzle Flare Blitz into the Pidgeot slot. I want to say Pidgeot, so I can then Earthquake swap to it the next turn, because they don't have a good Earthquake switch in. Yeah, this is Protect Flare Blitz, I imagine, into the gold. Nice, nice. Now we have Earthquake, beautiful. And even if it heals with the Sitrus, it's fine. Sand Subsides doesn't matter. We go into Pidgeot, we go in for an Earthquake. Looking like a pretty good spot, because Flo just uses Protect. So I should be able to get a KO here onto... I threaten a KO onto both here with Adamant Earthquake, I imagine. So could get a double knockout if theoretically. They're probably swapping out, I imagine, but that's fine too. Okay, I assume it's not Sneasler back because I think it's really weak to gold. Bask is what I'm probably looking at here. So we're gonna go for the gold swap into Pidgeot and Earthquake. Incineroar retreats. Bask? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. No double protect. Very good, very good, very good. Here comes an Earthquake. Good damage. I think... Oh, my face cam froze. Has it always been frozen? I hope not. Oops. Okay, I tried to reset my cam, but let me see what I can do. One sec. Okay, there we go. I think I have a guaranteed win now. I think I just protect my Pidgeot. I swap to gold and I guarantee win off this. Because as long as I have Sash Excadrill available, Earthquake should always just win the game. So that's the plan I'm going to go for. I switch out Excadrill to reset the Intimidate, so Earthquake always kills. We go gold here. We protect our Pidgeot. And we should be good. Fake out. Into the Excadrill slot. Also an attack into that slot. No, they wave crash to Pidgeot. GG. I go for Hurricane into Shadow Ball, I guess. Even if they protect Bass, that's fine. Because they can only KO one with Incin. And X is still in a game-winning spot. They go for Helping Hand, which is cool. I'm assuming this is Scarf, but let's see. Yeah, it is Scarf. Okay, so I am right on that. Okay. Wave Crash KOs to gold, but they take a bunch of recoil. They probably live the recoil, but Hurricane then knocks out, and then I still have a Sash Excadrill that's claiming. So that's why I want to save Sash Excadrill, because I knew it'd be really good into this end game, because I KO'd a Bass with the Earthquake, because we saw how much it did earlier, and then we also KO Incin. So I had the game sealed here, and perfect. We got a lucky flinch, but granted, we also got a really unlucky Rock Slide, which would have KO'd the Incineroar, and that would have denied this position. So, fair is fair, I suppose. But beautiful, beautiful win. And Pidgeot's maybe more insane than I thought it would be. So, how was the team? It's not like Mega Pidgeot was going LeBron with the KOs, but I really do love having that normal typing. I think that's something I really do miss with Staraptor, because even though the fighting type is cool for things like the King Gambit, especially, and the same type of attack blows close combat with contraries really do hurt, there's just so many Pokemon in this format where it does hurt to be a fighting type, because then you're just weak to the fairies and you still take a lot of damage in response. Also, just losing the immunity to Last Respect can really hurt in endgame scenarios. So I really did like Pidgeot. Pidgeot was pretty good, especially since we faced a lot of Basket Legions. Those Basket Legions had to worry about locking into Last Respect, which were actually pretty important in our games, which was actually really crucial, because when you're bringing stuff like Golden Go and Rotom Wash, they do have to respect the Pidgeot as well, because of the fact that if Pidgeot is just there on the field, the Last Respect is threatening. How was the team details? I really did like the changes. The Rotom Wash, I think being bold was really helpful. I did like Modest Gold. I think you could probably even go slower to Rotom or to Gold, in some cases, because it didn't really feel like I needed to outspeed Bass to win, but maybe in some cases it can be useful. I did like the bulky T-Tar on this team, though. It was able to switch in, but maybe we also faced multiple Trick Room teams, so that also was an impactful one. But I did actually really enjoy the team. I thought Pidgeot, even though it wasn't the best sweeper, it was actually able to put in a lot of work for what it needed to do and exactly what I needed it to, which was support the other Pokemon and dish out some pretty good damage, especially with that Hurricane. If you'd like to check out the details of the team, you can check them out with the replica code on your screen. You could also check it down below in the description. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.